Hello my fellow crafters and welcome back to Inspiration for Cards. My name is David and today I'm going to be making a card for you. I have this fun little project in mind that I've seen a long time ago, this technique on YouTube. I can't remember who it was, but it was one of the bigger YouTubers. And she made wood grain paper, but on a very simple way. And this project stuck in my head for a long time, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I'm going to be using all Elizabeth Craft Designs products for this. Let me show you. I've got, now you can see me. I've got my card base ready, which is the soft finish cardstock. I've got a black matte layer and my card base. So that's all done. I'm going to use the Florals 8 for this. I've already die cut all the pieces out, so it's going to be quite a quick, simple project. I'm going to use a sentiment from the sentiment strip from the book die set. So I'm just going to use this strip, and I'm going to be using the sending hugs from the Smell the Flowers stamp set that comes with the book set. And I'm going to use the hexagons. So what I've done, I've used this hexagon to cut out a black and a white layer. Oh, just let me get it. Now there are several sizes in it, but I thought the border became too big. If you can see it here, if you take these two, there's quite a big border, and I didn't want that. So I've cut them both out with the same die, and then trimmed off just a hair around that. And I was just playing around, and I thought, ooh, this is fun as well. But I'm not going to do that today. We're going to do it like this. But you see now there's a little black border, same as on my card. So that's what I wanted. Now, I'm going to make two because I couldn't make up my mind about what I was going to do exactly. So I've prepared all the flowers, etc. For two different cards. So let's dive in. So for the wood grain, I'm going to be using my Score Buddy. Score Easy it's called. This one is from Vase, but of course you've got different ones in every country. And I'm pretty sure this one is in centimeters, but I know for a fact that they are there in inches as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark a 2-inch line. I'm going to make a crease. I'm going to go over that a couple of times because I want that crease to be really on there. Then I'm going to shift from 8 to 6 and do it again. So every 2 centimeter, you can do every inch. If you're in inches, I'll make a line. So from 6, I go to 4. Then I will turn it around because it makes it easier. So this one is at 6, so I will go up to 8. And there is my first panel done. So I'll quickly do the other one. There we go. Now that was simple and quick. Both are done. So next I'm going to get my mini distress inks out, and the first color I'm going to try is weathered wood and iced spruce. So I'm going to start with weathered wood, and I'm just going to take my ink pad and I'm just going to take that direct to the paper. Now this is soft finish cardstock, and soft finish cardstock takes the ink beautifully. It gives it a nice structure in the paper. And I'm just going back and forth, giving this a good layer of ink. From the other side, you can already see it's getting a wood grain effect. So next I'm coming in with the iced spruce, and I'm just very lightly, with a light touch, going over that. So this is not really, I'm not pressing hard on this, but this is just giving it a bit more depth. There we go. That's our first panel done. I love this. Simple and quick, right? So that's weathered wood. This was the iced spruce. I'm going to put that to the side because I'm going to need that in a second. Just quickly wipe up this ink. And then we'll do the second panel. And I just thought, okay, this technique is so simple and quick. Let's just use both. So the next one I'm going to use is milled lavender and Victorian velvet. So I'm going to put my card panel on there. I'm going to start with the lighter color, which is the milled lavender. I'm just going to do the same. Just wipe that over my cardstock. what I have in mind is making quite monochromatic cards. So not a lot of variation in color. And I'm not going to color flowers the way you would normally do that. Oh, you get the gist in a minute. So again, with the darker color, just going over that lightly, don't press too hard. That is giving it really nice wood look. There we go. Done. Our background panels are ready to go. So I've got a bunch of flowers and leaves here. Let me just put them on here. What I'm going to do is something very, very simple. I'm going to take my finger dauber and I'm going to take Victorian velvet, dab it in there and dab it off. Take my flower and from the inside I'm going to just drag that color out ever so slightly. So the outside of the petals I want to keep white. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to do that on all the flower petals. This one I'm inking up a bit more, but not. I haven't loaded up my finger dauber anymore. So that's just, I'm using whatever's left on this. Next I'm going to take my leaves and I'm just going to give that a hint of that color as well. This is what I meant with, it's going to be a very simple monochromatic card. Just these colors are simple, right? Sometimes it's nice to do just a simple and quick project, but it still looks, yeah, pretty like you did put in a lot of effort. So let me take the other flowers and I'm going to take the weathered wood, load that up on my thingy, what's it called, finger dauber, and start in the center and just drag that out. And I'm not going to shape these flowers. I'm just going to stack them together. I like making cards with the beautiful shaped flowers and giving them a realistic feel, but not in this case. This case it's going to be very simple. And then I'm just going to color the inside. This is the center of the flower that can have a bit more. And then I will just go and do the same to the leaves as I did with the purple or the lavender or whatever color we call that. Victorian velvet. But I just love how the soft finish cardstock takes this ink. It's giving it a very soft structure, just giving that a hint of that color as well. And that was all the coloring done already. Now it's time to put these flowers together. So what I've got here is I've got my Kids' Choice glue. I'm just gonna take some on my finger. I'm just gonna put a dot underneath that flower and position that on there. I want to slightly offset them, so there we go. Now I just want the glue on the center of the flower. So just there. I don't want the leaves to be, the petals to be glued on there. So just gonna offset that again, offset them, and then I'm gonna let them dry. That is the important part of this. Give that glue some time to adhere and dry a bit. Put the center in. There we go. That's my first flower done. And you see, with that just a tiny bit of shading almost, it gives the flower dimension. So let's do the same to the other one. So this is a fun and simple way to create a beautiful card, because the card will be beautiful. I'm convinced of that. Okay, this one again, beautiful shaded. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp out two different sentiments. So I'm going to stamp out one on black and one on white. Again, this is a situation where I could not choose, and Daniel was no help as well. So that's when I said, okay, I'll do both. So first, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a bit of double up, because I tested it out with just the white hero use from Hero Arts, and it did not do a proper stamp. And then I saw a trick the other day on YouTube again, using the Versamark. So first ink up your stamp with Versamark. That makes it sticky. And then we're going to do the Hero Arts white pigment ink on top of that. And that will stick to the stamp even better. So, and then what I'm going to do, just quickly use my anti-static tool. That one as well. There we go. Both are prepared. And stamp this sentiment out. Next, I'm going to take my white embossing powder. There we go. Put that on there. There we have a beautiful white text on there. So I'm going to melt this first before I ruin it. So I'm going to heat up my tool and let it warm up a bit. And then I'm going to heat that from the back. And here we have a nice, crisp, white, heat embossed sentiment. And I found that doing it this way with the Versamark and then putting the hero use on, it works like a charm. So this one, done. So the second one I'm going to stamp out using my VersaFine Clair, or the other one, VersaFine Black Onyx, and this is Nocturne. Either there, either one is fine. This one was on my desk, so inked up that sentiment and stamp. And I'm stamping this on the smooth side of the soft finish cardstock. Perfect. Next, move quick. Well, it's pigment ink, so it will stay wet for a while. I'm going to use my clear embossing powder on that. And tap it off, and I will melt that. There we go. Also beautifully embossed. So let me clean this up. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my die and position this on there, and they fit beautifully. I'm just going to take 2 pieces of tape to make sure they stay in place. Just line that up. Just going to use my little one. What's it called? Sidekick. There we go. The little sidekick to cut out the sentiment, because it's nice and quick, does the job. There we have a beautiful sentiment strip. Now I'm going to repeat that. Now take off your die before you throw it in the bin. Done that. Okay, now what I've done before is I've already die cut out 2 sentiment strips. 2 additional sentiment strips. And what I want to do, I slightly want to offset this on there. So I'm going to take my glue, the first one that came to hand, and I'm going to just put that glue on there. And then I'm going to pick it up. Now you see there's a black stitch line on there. And what I want is I want to position that point there in the point where the stitching is, and then follow that line. Just press and hold that for a second. There. Sentiment, check. And let that dry. And I'm going to do the same with this one. So we've got two sentiments ready to go. One black on white and one white on black. That was the discussion we had, and I couldn't make a decision. So that's when I said, I'll make both. And the same happened with the colors of the card. So hence we make two. And sometimes it's nice to see how you can very quickly make two cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my glue. I'm going to put some glue behind this panel, just along the side. This is now nice and dry. You see the layering of the colors really coming through on both. That's what I really like. So I'm just going to position this on there and give it a press. And do the second one. These are on there. Now it's time to start assembling these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these two together like that. And do the same to this one. So again, very simple, very quick card project. I'm actually making two cards. There we go. Now I'm not going to put any dimension on these cards. Now I need to find the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the middle panel. I want this to be slightly in the top part of the card, like that. There we go. And repeat that process again. Next, I'm going to take my flower. I'm just going to put some glue right here in the center and put it down. Now, I'm not going to put it down right in the middle. I'm just going to put that off to the side a tiny bit. And give that glue some time to adhere. And do the same with the other. Now with the leaves, I'm just going to slide them. I'm just going to slide them right on the. Just coming off the card there. Press it down. The smaller one I want at the top. On this side. Just slide that under there. That. And the third one, the bigger one again, is going to go right there. So I'm going to put that to the side and let that dry for a minute. So we'll do the other leaves and the last one. Now, I don't know about you, but I think this is coming together very, very nicely. Now, for the sentiment, just going to put some glue behind that. I'm just going to line that up right there. And this one I think is beautiful with the bluish green tone. Right. Next, I will put this on my card base. Now let's make sure it opens at the right side. And this gives a nice, small, very small white border just around that card panel. I like that. So this is not a very dimensional card, but because of all the different layers, it's got a lot of depth. The layering of the inks also give the panel some depth. So yeah. Now the last thing I want to do is I just want to take my tweezers and just pull up these leaves. Now the glue is dry, so I did not shape the flowers, but I do want them to have some dimension, and this is a fun way to do that. I'm just pulling up these leaves a bit. Go. Beautiful, right? Completely changes the look and feel again. So this is giving my card dimension. So that's why I did not want to use any layers of tape underneath the sentiment strips or anything. So I'm just pulling these up. There we go. See, this gives it some nice dimension on both of the cards. And these are the finished projects for today. Very simple, clean, fun, simple to make. Yeah, give it a go. This technique is really fun. It looks like you've put in a lot of effort, but as you could see, it's very easy and very fast to make. So if you like this video, please consider to give it a thumbs up, because that will help other people to find my video as well. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel to see more projects like these. I love how they came out. Well, thank you for watching this one, and I would love to see you for the next one. Thank you very much. Bye!